Here's a question for you. Are you walking around with a wallet that would put George Costanza to shame? If you don't get the reference, here's a little refresher, classic moment from Seinfeld.
My back is killing me.
Of course, because of that wallet. You got a filing cabinet under half of your ass.
This is an organizer, a secretary, and a friend.
All right, maybe you are indeed like George and have a wallet that is just filled with stuff that maybe doesn't need to be there. So what can you do with it? Well, our tech guy, Rich Brooks from Flight New Media, has been giving this some thought, and he has some suggestions on how we can get the stuff out of our wallet into our smartphones. First of all, is this really all that possible, feasible?
It's not possible to get everything out of your wallet just yet, but we're getting closer and closer. So, I have a dozen ways to pay through my phone for anything, but I still feel more comfortable carrying around a credit card and a few bills. But I do think that through some apps and different techniques that we can get about 80% of the way there, and that's a lot easier on our
All
wallets.
right, let's start out with the first steps. Where do we begin with this process?
Let's start with the root of all evil, money. Apple and Google both have digital wallets, which allows us to take our credit cards and put them on the phones so that when we go to the store, we can scan with our facial ID, unlock it, and be able to pay right there. Now, not every store that takes credit cards will necessarily have this, so I do recommend at least having one credit card that you regularly use in your wallet. And then for things like peer-to-peer payments, I would recommend having Venmo, which is like the perfect app for if we need to split a restaurant bill, or if you want to send money to your kid at college, or if you've got to pay the babysitter. That's a perfect opportunity there, so you can carry a lot less money with you.
All right, good first steps. Where does one then go from there? What are the next ones?
Let's talk about those loyalty and membership cards that are filling up our wallets. And I'm thinking about Costco, I'm thinking about Sam's, or gym memberships.
Or just the sandwich shop down the street?
Exactly. And so most of those bigger stores will have some sort of app, and the apps will often have many more benefits to it. So, whether you're checking in, checking out, or filling up at the gas pumps, all you need to do is scan in your phone and you should be good to go. And that'll take care of most of those type of membership cards. The only caveat I have here is sometimes those apps track more information than you want. I remember a few years ago, actually, I downloaded a fast food restaurant app, and as soon as it got on my phone, it said, "We need to track your location 24/7, even when you're not using the app." Wow. I couldn't imagine a reason why a fast food restaurant would need to do that, so I immediately deleted it off my phone.
Yeah. How about business people, professionals? They may have some special needs in terms of what they have in their wallets. What can they do? Should they do?
Yeah, great question, actually. So if you are the kind of person who needs to track your expenses for an expense report, I would recommend downloading Expensify, where you can snap pictures of your receipts, they get uploaded and then put into a report. And if you're like me and you still enjoy the act of trading high-quality business cards with other professionals, I recommend taking a look at CamCard, which will allow you to scan in all of those business cards and even share your information with other people as well.
All right, we've covered a lot of stuff here, and most of it is pretty important. But there's all that other random stuff that so many of us have in our wallets. How do you deal with that?
Well, as I was going through this exercise, I got rid of my insurance card by downloading the State Farm app, which had a lot of benefits, including tracking my payments and even starting a claim. Same thing with my AAA card. Also, whenever I get concert tickets, I always make sure I get the mobile version, and so I can open it up on my Ticketmaster, walk right into the state with no problems. But I would recommend taking a picture of any concert tickets, because I have heard horror stories of people being turned away because they couldn't access it because they had no Wi-Fi and no signal, and the ticket wasn't actually on their phone, they just had access to it.
Some people are no doubt wondering, you do all this, is it safe? Or really, to put it another way, what happens if you lose your phone? Are you then really in a world of hurt?
I would say it's aggravating, but what would be worse is losing your wallet. So when we lose our wallet, it's days before we can get our credit cards back. All that cash is obviously gone, and anything else we had in there. With our phone, it's aggravating and expensive if you don't have insurance, but you can download that information off the cloud, and then you'll be back in business in no time.
All right. Really good suggestions. I don't think George Costanza would follow them, but really good recommendations, Rich. Thank you so much. If you'd like to see the full list of those ideas from Rich, we've got them on our website and app. Check them out in the 207 section. And stay with us. We'll return in a moment.